Good morning, welcome to Garden Friends. I'm Andrea here in Tampa, Florida. It's early April and I'm going to take a quick look at my pigeon pea bush here, and I will show you when it is time to pick your pigeon peas. And you can pick them when they're green, you can pick them when they're brown. And there's an in-between stage where they're not quite brown, they're kind of white. I tend to treat those more like green peas, but I will show you how to tell. So I'm going to get a little closer here. These pods here, if you shake them, they rattle. These are dry. I'll pick one and I'll open that up in a minute and you will see what I mean. Now, if you want to pick them green, this is what they look like when they are ready. They are bright green. They have these pretty, I think they're more black than they are purple at this point. So I squeeze these pods and it's nice and firm when I squeeze it, which tells me there is a nice green pea in there. And it looks like I've got 4 of them and he is ready to pick. I'll open him up in just a second. Now, I'll keep looking. Now this guy here, he looks pretty and he looks like he's got some peas in him, but if I start squishing these, they collapse. So sometimes you don't have fully formed peas. I don't know that this is going to ever make any to get brown or green. I'll pick him and I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to find one that's not quite brown yet. There should be one. And yes, I've got one right here. If you can tell, yes, he's got peas in them. I've got one squishy thing there, but these are pretty firm. They've got peas in them. He is not as brown as that guy, but he's not green like this one. And he just rattles a little bit. So we're gonna try him and we'll open him up and see if they are white. The reason I don't treat them as dried peas is because they still have a little bit of moisture to them when you feel them, and I wouldn't want to put them in the jar with my dried peas because then it might mold, it might go bad, and I wouldn't want that to affect my other peas. Now I have one more here that I'll show you. He's been on there for too long. He looks kind of moldy, his colors aren't as vibrant, so I'll show you what he looks like when I open him up. One more thing I want to point out, that is 4 seeds. See the 4 trunks of my pigeon pea? And it gives me a nice bush like that. This is 1 seed, 1 little pea seed, and it gives you 1 stalk. That's what he's doing. It's not real impressive. He may make a few peas on the end, but it's just 1. And he just fell on his own. He grew and I left him to see what he would do. Obviously, if you want pigeon peas, you want your bush to be nice and full. It's attractive on its own, but it will give you the most peas if you plant multiple seeds in one little space. Okay, well here they are. I have got my nice green pigeon pea. They are a pretty green color. These I would put in a bag and freeze them until I get enough to use. Some people treat them like edamame. We put them in stir-fried rice, and you just gotta cook them more than you would a normal pea. They have more of a consistency of like a small lima bean, I think, but they're really good. Now this is the one that was really squishy, and it's pretty. It would be hard to tell that it wasn't really ready to be picked yet, except when I open him up. You can see it had tiny little peas that weren't quite ready. Now these are the ones that were not quite brown, were not quite green, and you can see that the pea still has a little bit of green left to it. It's kind of a cream color. It's still a little glossy. I would treat that like I would a green pea. these are brown. They are dry. These I would put into a jar and keep it on the shelf until I have enough, and then I treat them like I would any other dried bean. Now, this is the pod that was getting kind of moldy looking, and it still has some little brown peas in it. They're very dry. They don't look too much different from these at this point. I'd go ahead and I would keep them. I would use them. I like to pick them though when it looks a little bit like that. It's a little healthier. It's also a little cleaner because when you are shucking these things, your hands get a little dirty. And I would rather have something that doesn't look like mold on my hands when I am shucking my pigeon peas. So I want to thank you for watching my video. If you learned anything valuable about pigeon peas, let me know. Like my video, subscribe, give me a comment. It's always nice to hear from new friends. And you have a great day.